Right. Yeah, good evening. I'm going to start by this. Lost in headspace. I've gone to Planet Cuckoo, to the cloud above my head. I find it helps to ground me when my legs they feel like lead. I'm floating way above myself. It's really rather cool. Besides, it stops me blabbering and talking mummy drool. And often when you speak to me, I seem like I'm not here. My eyes may glaze and head will nod, and nothing's really clear. But I'm glad you've come a knocking, made up from your when you call. Just don't give up on me, for I am in here, though it doesn't seem like it at all. That's just one of the massive, brilliant poems my guest tonight, Paula Clark, has done herself from scratch. Paula is an award-winning international makeup artist. To the Stars is a secret poet, also a published author. She's a best-selling for Ode to Women, and soon will be released the 7 Traits of a Highly Successful Single Parent book.
That's right.
Welcome.
Thank you, Adam. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Now, I just want to start. What brought you into the world of poetry?
I've been writing poetry since I was probably late teens, and throughout, I've always written poetry, but I've always saved it for either my ex-husband or for my best friend. Then I started writing poems to my best friend's parents. Then I'd write poems to cheer people up when I was a mum and people were down. And then I started writing poems for my children, and people were always saying, "Oh, you should do this. You should do poetry more often. You're very good." And I always lacked confidence. I'd probably say I lacked confidence in my 20s, 30s, and 40s, early 40s, sorry. Yeah. And so I didn't pursue anything really, to be honest. Not very much. I didn't pursue very much. And it was when a friend invited me to read my poetry, because she heard some of my odes, my poetry at her poetry evening. And I did an open mic, and I kept coming back. And I think for about 15 months off and on, I did open mic. And then just loads of people kept saying, "You should write a book." So I did. And now I've got an Ode to Woman. I've got my first published book and my first published poetry book. Fantastic. Came out at the beginning of May. So
yeah. And I will be purchasing that. By God, I will. And yeah, because obviously I know you did a poem for me, and it actually made me tearful. And I don't normally cry. It was to do with autism.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought, yeah, this woman's on the ball here, and she's gonna change people's lives for the better.
I hope so.
And anytime. And obviously, tell me about the 7 Traits of a Highly Successful Single Parent book.
Okay, so I've been through lots of life challenges, and when I started my online business it was 2015, we were encouraged to read as many self-development books as possible, self-help books, self-development books, positive thinking books, mindset books. So I started to meditate, I started to read these books, and then I made copious notes all the time, either in the book or in loads of notebooks. I'm a real list maker and a note maker. I've got so many notepads everywhere, all filled up with stuff. When I'm in a meeting, I'm the one scribbling all the notes down, trying to take the golden nuggets. And basically, I'd had a really very traumatic experience within our family life from 2016 to 2018. And 2017, at the crux of everything, was literally 2016 I got anxiety because of it. I'd never had anxiety or depression. I've always been a really light-hearted, positive person, always smiling or always happy. I used to be called the smiler by my mum's friends when I was younger. Always smiling, always looking at the positive. Became a Christian at 19, always grateful, and so always positive. And so this was a very new space for me, this darkened cave view of life. Watching the world from a dark place was very, very difficult for me.
Yeah.
And because I'm a very emotional, sensitive person, I felt everything. And so I poured those emotions down on paper. I journal, I would write poetry, etc. And when I came through it, in probably just after halfway through, August 2018 was when I met somebody who was a life coach. I prayed for a life coach. I met somebody who's a life coach, and then he helped me get out of that negative mindset. And he gave me tools and techniques, and really for about 3 months, literally held my hand every day, messaged me all the time. And he still messages me now, right? Which is, you know, quite 2 years later, over 2 years later, he's still, nearly 2 years later, he's still messaging me to keep me going. How you doing? Checks in with me every now and again. And so what happened? Then I retrained as a makeup artist, and then I found that I was changing my whole mindset. I was adopting a growth mindset and a winner's mindset, and all the negative was seeping away. I was watching my language. I was being more grateful. I'd had more mindfulness practices infiltrate my life. And so in September 2019, I felt the need to pour all this into a book. And so I did. Work was quiet. I'd had a really busy summer, June, July, August for makeup. May, June, July, August. And then it kind of went quiet, and I thought, this is perfect. Kids back to school after summer holidays. So I literally I was a J.K. Rowling, right? And because I had no money coming in. If you know,
you look like her as well. You look like her.
Yeah, I would like to be as successful as her. Thank you very much. Oh, even like a little bit as successful as J.K. Rowling, I'd be very happy. And she's a nice person as well, so that's really lovely.
There you go.
What I did was I wrote 28,000 words in about 7 weeks. I wrote 28,000 words of a book, and I called it From Jelly Bean to Rockstar Queen. That's what I initially went as. And then makeup work kicked off. I started getting work in commercials and I can tell you now, right, from March through to September, I had so much work. I had thousands and thousands of pounds worth of work. And then it just went. So what happened was I had 2 days of boohooing. You know, all my income had gone again. And I thought, and then lockdown was approaching. I thought, blinking heck, what am I going to do?
No.
And I remembered that I had a poetry book to publish, that I had all these poems put together and some illustrations, put it all together, approached a couple of publishers. I got I got 2 or 3 yeses, one I went with. And I also said, I'm writing a self-help book. And they said, well, finish it, and then we'll be interested to have a look. So there I was, scribbling away. And before, you know, in 4 weeks, I'd written another 40,000 words. And I spent 2.5 weeks editing it. Then I handed it to the publisher. Literally, they gave me my book and I gave them the manuscript. So from one book to the other book, I said, right, thank you very much for publishing this. Now can I give you my manuscript? It's finished. And it's now in publication. So I think about 3 weeks' time, it's going to be out. It's the kind
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's going to help that's the one that's going to help a lot of people, because it's all the tools and tricks I've learned from going from a very, very dark place to where I am.
Absolutely. Yeah, because there is hope and belief that people can turn their lives around.
Absolutely.
Look at you. Look at me. Yeah. Like you won't believe if just sitting here. Just March last year, I attempted suicide, and now look at me. I am doing videos after videos. I'm loving it. And it's thanks to fantastic people, especially like yourself, just encouraging me just to keep going.
Absolutely.
And I'm proud of it. Well done.
I'm proud of you too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I got your comment about when I got the level 2 certificate, so that's brilliant. But yeah, it's really good for people to do what they do. And obviously, I've tried writing a book, and I ain't got a clue what I'm doing. I really don't, but I want to write a book about my journey, my adventure. But
You know, it's
Yeah.
all about timing, don't you? I
Oh
wanted
yeah.
to be a writer when I was 15, and I had a vision of myself because I paint as well. I always have my
Yeah.
paintings, so I paint angels, abstract angel paintings, oil paintings, and I just finished a commission actually. It's ran the in the other room, and so I've got 2 commissions, and you know, one was sold in February. But I was always going to be a an artist and a writer and run a business. That's what I was always going to do. That's what I wrote down when I was 15. And many years later, I'm finally a published, you know, author, and I've got 3 novels penned, and I've penned, and I've got so the self-help book is coming out next month, and then I've got 2 other poetry books, maybe possibly 3, that I plan to do after this one, and then the novels.
Wow.
But I wasn't ready before. It's all about timing. I wasn't ready in the self-help book. I wasn't ready until I completely and utterly got rid of that feeling of lack and that feeling of woe is me, and why
Yeah.
is this happening to me, why have I got this, why is this da 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 da. When I managed to grow away from that and grow up, it's because it's in the dark places that we grow the most. So
Yes.
when I realized that actually things didn't bother me, you know, who, having finally got to a point where I had a feature film, as a makeup artist, a feature film, 2 short films, 5 commercials, right? And a possible sitcom. And I was going to Cannes Film Festival, and I was interviewing because I was doing interviews for big events like the Brits Award After Party and red carpet premieres. And so I was getting a bit of a reputation as doing these interviews. I was going to Monaco, right, for this international polo event. And I had 3 days booked in Monaco, right? Well, they were going to be booked, but obviously this happened and it was cancelled.
Yeah.
And I, instead of falling apart, I boohooed, right? And I went, oh, what am I going to do now? I pulled myself to get back together. I couldn't have done that back in maybe August last year. So it's all about timing. Your timing right now is about doing this.
Yeah.
When you've come through that, you know, when you're secure in this space that you're in now, then then something else might open up, and then something else, and maybe in whoever knows a time scale, that's right, I'm ready now, I'm ready to write my book. It's all about timing. It's all about the timing in our life of when things happen.
You know what? That is the first ever time somebody's actually mentioned that to me.
Yeah.
Ever. Like, yeah, because I've had what, about 4 or 5 people telling me, let's do this book together. Let's do it. And we was going chapter. But it's about timing. I totally sympathise with it. Why? Yeah. It's like
Because your
nobody.
time right now is something else. Your time for writing the book will come, but right now, this is your time for this. It's
Yes.
like running before you can really walk, and you have to
Ah,
walk first. And then when
yeah.
you're really secure with your, you know, how you walk, your gait, whatever, then it's your time. And also you might think, right now, I want to write a book about this subject.
Yeah.
But in a 6 months to a year, actually, what you really want to write about, what you're passionate to write about, is something else, or a stream off that. And that's the bit that really will fill your boots. It's all
Yes.
about your gut instinct and feeling inside. If you have a feeling inside that it's not right for you right now, you have to listen to that, because that's your gut instinct.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I've always listened to my gut or what's in my heart, and I've always ignored what's in my head. But I know when I've been at my lowest, I have been thinking about my head,
Yeah,
and I know that's what pushes you to do those things,
absolutely.
like self-harm, suicidal thoughts, the lot.
Yeah.
So this is why I have now turned my life around, and I was described by it was just yesterday. I got a message on Facebook from an Australian. He's a good mate of mine, and he basically turned around to me and said, "You're a leader now. You're a leader with these videos, and I cannot wait to be on stage with you one day to talk about mental health, because this is my passion now.
Yeah.
Like, if you asked me about 3 years ago, you are going to be broadcasting videos, about 4 videos, maybe even 5 videos every single week, talking about mental health. I'm like, you must be joking, mate. But no, this is reality.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm proud of it.
Well done. And always remember, because Les Brown, the Afro-American
Yes, I know him.
motivational speaker, I listen to him all the time. I've listened to him constantly for 3 years.
He's hilarious.
But he's just spot on. And he's got this one speech talk called It's Possible. And we have to keep telling ourselves all the time, it's possible. It's possible. Even if the hardest thing to do is get out of bed one morning, you have to just say to yourself, it's possible. So lying in bed, and you just think, I'm too tired, I'm depressed, I'm anxious, I'm scared of what the day is going to bring. The first thing I do is always say, thank you, God. Thank you.
Yeah.
You don't have to be to God. It can be the universe. It can be the clouds. It can be the tree that you see outside your bedroom window. It doesn't matter. It's thank you, because what it does is it puts you in the right mindset to wake up, to get out. And then I say, it's possible. And then that puts my mindset onto the right track, even if I've not slept very well, even if I'm dog tired, even if I'm really worried about something. I mean, I'm a single parent of 3 kids. They were all different places today. I've 10 weeks of lockdown, and I had two teenagers in different places, and it was a bit, my mind, I had to focus my mind, and they're safe, remind myself they're safe, it's okay. I've taught them well over the last 10 weeks about social distancing, and everything was fine. But sometimes we talk ourselves into thinking really negative thoughts. So if we can get out of bed in the morning and tell ourselves, thank you for waking up, because a lot of people don't wake up in the morning. Thank you. 10 things to be grateful for. I write a list every single day. I'm doing a 90-day gratitude list, and I'm on day 28. Okay. And every single day I do 40 gratitudes. And I try to do different ones every day, but the same ones are always in there. Thank you for waking up. Thank you for the sunshine. Thank you for the hot water. Thank you for food in the fridge, money in the bank. Thank you for food in the cupboard. Thank you that I have a roof over my head, a car. Thank you for my friends. And I list every single friend. And you know what? I could go for 100. And I have to, even if it's midnight and I'm just about to get to bed, I have to write my gratitude list. And you put in the right mindset, and it takes away that sense of lack that we have. And when we get anxious, it's because we're worried about the future. And when we feel lack, it's because we don't feel enough and we don't feel good enough. And so if the first thing you do is the gratitudes, then it lifts your soul a little bit. And if you say it's possible, then it makes the day that much more exciting.
Yeah, well, obviously, we all have our low days. Yeah. Because if we didn't, we wouldn't be human. Now, I had it on my stairway. It basically just saying this quote: anything is possible if you believe in yourself. And I would at least look at that about 50 times every single day.
Good.
And that what encouraged me going. And now, obviously, when my autistic son had a meltdown, he ripped it. And it hurt a little bit, because that was my encouragement. That was my motivational message. But now I have grew to do some research, listen to inspirational speeches from likes of Jim Carrey, Dwayne Johnson, just people like that. And they're brilliant. But now I believe, I printed the quote out, and I know I've said this several times, like when people are contemplating suicide themselves, I always say to them, repeat this quote to yourself: if I can survive the war that I battle with myself, I can survive anything. And that reflects on their mind, and it changes them, and they're here today.
Yeah, I know.
Something that's powerful, simple but powerful. That's what keeps me going.
You have to remember, if you can hang out, if you feel really desperate, if you can hang out to them next morning, it's a new day, it's a new start, right? It's that Nina Simone, right? The Nina Simone song. It's a new day, it's a new dawn, that one.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good. it's basically, we get a fresh new 24 hours every single time we open our eyes in the morning.
We do.
And we might have another really crap day, right? And then as long as we keep remembering to open our eyes the next morning and say thank you, it lessens and it lessens and it lessens. But finding a speaker or a book or whether it's a speaker, an audio, an author, someone you can resonate with, and someone that kind of you can attach almost something to an emotional.
Yeah.
I used to listen to Lisa Nichols, another Afro-American inspirational speaker, as opposed to a motivational speaker.
Yeah.
I was very down in 2017. I listened to her all the time, literally on constant replay, over and over and over, because it was a message of hope, of love, and encouragement. And then there were other times to listen to Kick Up the Backside, Oprah, or a bit of Tony Robbins. And we need different messages at different times in our lives. Sometimes it's gentle, sometimes it's a right old kick up the jacksie, but they both work. Both those methods and different methodologies work for us at different times of our life.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if you want my opinion right now, I believe, because you probably got told it, I definitely got told it, to always fall back on something. Now, I have now learned after watching this inspirational video, I can't remember who said it now, I don't want to fall back on anything. And now my kids know that I would never turn to them and say, you need to grow up and fall back on something. I'd never say that now.
No.
Because your target, your dream is in front of you. And if you're falling back on something, you'll be looking over your shoulder and you won't see nothing but bad stuff, negative. So you always fall forward to something. And I always teach my kids now, fall forward to something. And if you hit a barrier, find a way of overcoming that barrier. Because when there's a will, there's a way.
Absolutely. Remember, it's possible.
Absolutely, yes. Yes. But other than that, I know when we're talking music, songs, I always listen to the same 3 songs every single day. And I know it annoys like my kids, my partner and all that, because they're sick of hearing it. But that's been self-care mode.
And what are they, Adam?
One of them is U2 Beautiful Day.
Okay, yeah.
The other one is Robbie Williams' Love My Life.
I don't know. Do I know that one? Anyway.
I have not got a clue.
I'll look it up. Don't worry.
Yeah, Robbie Williams' Love My Life. And the other one, it's a bit of a rock song now, but the song is, the artist is called Disturbed.
I know Disturbed. I know the song you're going to say. I love it. It was out last year. Was it the one that was out last year?
Which one?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Well, it's a mix of both. Well, it's a mix of both because there's 2 songs. One's called The Light, and the other's called Reason to Fight.
I think it's Reason to Bite. It's a funny video with him falling down or something. I can't remember. The kids showed me last year, and I just remember how much I loved that song.
The Reason to Fight is where the guy's in this glass bottle and he smashes through it, and then it ends in this little house. But The Light is when it's that guy with the burnt face.
I don't know. See, I'm going to have to look that up as well now.
You're going to have to, yes. But anyway, there you go. I've inspired you to go and do something.
Yeah.
But yeah, if anyone watching, because I know this is going to be uploaded to YouTube, probably Facebook as well. If you've got any last bit of advice for anyone who's in self-doubt, don't know what to do, don't know who to turn to, what would you advise them?
Self-doubt. Okay. Self-doubt is usually given to us by someone else. Okay. I wrote about that in my book. We usually, so for example, right, if someone says, so say somebody wanted to go and do an open university degree course, right? And they'd always been told that they were stupid in school, right? You're stupid, you're stupid. You're not going to be able to do that. It's about trusting your instinct, and it's really hard when you're self-doubting to trust your instinct. If you want to do it, right, just do it. Because
Yeah.
I'm referring back to Les Brown, but I listened to him for 3 years on and off, as well as loads of other people, but he just stays with me. He's the kind of guy I want to meet. But he says, don't let the ghosts of your talents die with you. And that was so powerful, because I've got lots of talents. You know, I dance, I write, I'm a poet. I write 4 different types of things: lyrics, poetry, novels, and a self-help book. You know, that's 4 different kind of writing genres, and I do them all equally. And I paint, and I'm a makeup artist, I'm an interviewer, so I've got lots of different talents. And a lot of people have turned to me and said, focus on one thing, just one thing. But actually, I just remember what Les Brown says, you know, don't let the ghost of your talents, not your one talent, not the one thing that you're going to focus on for the rest of your life, the ghost of your talents. If you've got more than one talent, you pursue it to the end of it. It doesn't matter if you're going to make #1 in the charts or #1 on Amazon book, or if you're going to win any awards, or if you're going to win any trophies. It doesn't matter. If it's going to make you feel good and make you feel better than you are right now, just go and do it. Naysayers, people doubt, usually because they're either scared for you or they're envious of you.
Yeah.
Because it highlights something within themselves that makes them feel a little bit insecure.
Yeah, because obviously, I'm just going to mention, I know I mentioned it today on the post. Look at Thomas Edison. His dream was to invent a light bulb. He failed it 1,000 times. 1,001st, we've now got a light bulb.
But did you know he also invented the phonographer? He invented so many things. But how many people would have given up after 9 times, 19 times, 59 times, but 999 times you would have given up, right? What made him go to the 1,000th, I can't even say it, 1,000th time, you know, what made him go, well, it's in my head. What made him go to that figure? It's crazy, right? And there are so many people who get rejected over and over and over again. Some people give up and never do it, and some people just keep trying. If he didn't, it would have, you know, somebody would have invented it, but it may have taken a long time before he got that light bulb.
Like just
have to keep going.
Yeah, because I'm passionate about bringing awareness for mental health and trying to find a way of stopping this stigma. I'm bringing loads of people on to a video discussing or even interviewing about mental health. Just the other week, it took me 20 minutes just to get onto one video. 20 minutes, but I persevered. I did not quit.
Good.
Even though I was having really bad technical issues. Like yesterday, I was having technical issues talking on the Facebook Live because I tried every platform. Just didn't work. But I've not quit. I'm still going to pursue it. Excellent. Like tonight. I know it's trying to crash on me now, but I'm still here. I'm still talking. Because this is my blood now. This is my life. And obviously, if people don't agree with what I do, then I don't care. I really don't care. Because I'm not quitting. I'm not.
Good.
Anyway, but I'm glad to bring you on. I really am.
Thank you. Is there anything more you want to ask me?
No, that's all.
Excellent. Right. Plug for the book. An Ode to Woman covers everything. Covers anxiety, all kinds of depression, end of life, as in like dying, but nice dying, old age dying, to giving birth, to having kids, to divorce, separation, dating. The dating pool is a funny one. Oh, it's a nightmare. All kinds of things, all kinds of situations, all in there for men and women. In fact, I probably had 1/3 of the people who have bought it have been men. So it's not just for women. It's called An Ode to Woman. And I've had my male friends say, actually, it really helps me understand women more. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I think I need to purchase it. But yeah, because I know how, I'm just going to come out and say it. I know how stubborn women can be these days. So this is why I need to learn it.
I didn't say it was a self-help book. That one's coming next month. This is a quirky, funny look at being a woman.
Okay.
Thank you
Well,
for
brilliant.
having fun, Adam.
You're most welcome.
So
You're most welcome.
I have to end the meeting now because I'm in control.
I know.
Lovely to meet you. I won properly once again,
I know.
and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.
All
Adam.
right. Speak soon. Bye.